Oh, what is going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from January 19th, 2021. This will be your Impact Hard to Kill 2021 Fallout on this edition for Impact Wrestling, leading up to what's going to be happening later on for Impact Wrestling, where it pertains to everything that's transpired. Um, Pertains to the results that's now in the books of Impact Wrestling, pertains to Hard to Kill 2021. And what way to kick off 2021 of their pay-per-view Hard to Kill, which I think is one of the best pay-per-views they could put out there. Better than Bound for Glory, to still, if you ask me, of the last pay-per-views they did. And because to be honest with you, those pay-per-views they did afterwards. It was basically Bound for Glory, which was back in October, which leads you to January here for Hard to Kill. And their upcoming pay-per-view is going to be Rebellion. I don't remember what the date of it's going to be. Maybe in May or April. I'm trying to remember what those dates it is going to be on. But that's going to be the next pay-per-view for Impact Wrestling. Hopefully, soaring down the line for Impact Wrestling, I think they try to do what they tried to do last year. But unfortunately, they couldn't do it because of the pandemic. Changed everything, changed plans. Hopefully, they'll bring back Lockdown for Impact Plus, because that was going to be the event that was going to do last year around March. It was going to be around March that was going to do Lockdown. But again, because of the and the irony, the lockdown, lockdown of everyone keeping themselves quarantined because of the pandemic that we went through, and we're still going through this pandemic. It's just not a full lockdown of it, because there's still some things that they need to be taken care of with now our new president, Joe Biden. Where it tends to him being president for a couple of days now, and we'll see where it goes from there, and we'll see how he does as president. But besides that, so yeah, there's a lot to forward to for Impact Wrestling after having that Hard to Kill. So let's jump right into it. Obviously, they're in Nashville, Tennessee, in the Skyway Studios. Your commentators, which I couldn't be more happier to hear these commentators, are Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. A refresh, restart of 2021 for Impact Wrestling, getting rid of the trash of Josh Matthews on commentary. Unfortunately, no Madison Rain there. But what pertains to the whole thing with Melissa Santos, I heard that they were doing because here's the thing, I didn't watch Impact Wrestling on Twitch. I didn't watch it on Assets. I didn't catch it until later on because I was tired. So, basically, Melissa Santos once again did not appear on Twitch TV, where it tends to, covering the shows, where it tends to when the show starts and all that, and everything's happening on the show, and then once we go to commercial break from Twitch TV, it'll go directly to Melissa Santos, and she gives feedbacks and all that, and then talks to everyone on the chat and all that, having discussions of whatever have you, and did it once again for what, the third or 4 weeks in a row she has not been on Twitch. Unless they want her to to bring her back to do that thing, and if not, then have her be on commentary with Matt Striker, because those two go back to other days of Lucha Underground and other promotions they did during that time as well. Nothing against D'Lo Brown, but if we're not gonna bring Melissa Santos back to doing this whole twist thing, which she's been doing a tremendous job with it, then might as well have her on commentary with Matt Striker. Or if you want to have a 3 person group of commentary, you could do your own your own American Idol thing with Matt Striker being the Simon Cowell, except he's not England, he's not rude and all that. Matt Striker is actually a wrestling nerd and all that. He's well liked, unlike Simon Cowell. Mrs. Santos, she could just sit there and look pretty and all that, and also give her words into it, like a Paula Abdul at one point. But Paula Abdul is also, basically pertains to American Idol. She's great. And then you got D'Lo Brown, who could be the Randy Jackson. Not saying he's gonna say dog, or just saying. And I'm not saying he's got to wear glasses, which he does wear glasses, D'Lo Brown. But I think those are just reading glasses, or some type of prescription glasses that he wears sometimes. But yeah, so if they're not gonna do that with Mr. Santos, then might as well just let her go. Because what are you gonna do? Have her be a manager then? Um, I mean not manager. What you have her be doing? Just be to do some interviews. Which you already got an interviewer, Gina Miller. She's doing the interviews, which she's doing a great job of that too. But that was Mr. Santos' original job, when she came to Impact Wrestling, and then she does the things with Twitch TV and all that. And now with her husband not being there anymore, she's on. She does a lot of things on Twitch TV, and I don't know what was our position in Impact Wrestling, other than that. So if she's gonna be leaving, then let her go. Then I'm just saying. Because again, unless you want to bring her back on Twitch TV and do her that whole thing instead of just doing the reruns of Impact moments, Impact promos, and Impact debuts or returns, whatever, all that nonsense. You keep showing every week the same things every time. For us, people watching on Twitch TV, we're gonna get tired of that shit. And the reason why none of us want to watch on Access TV is because I'm pretty sure if I could speak on behalf of everyone, we hate nowadays these commercials that we've been seeing on TV. We don't like seeing these type of commercials where they think it's funny or catchy and all that. Those days of where commercials used to be catchy and sometimes out of the park and all that and funny is out the window. That was a long time ago. Nowadays commercials are not that good anymore. So, but that's just me. I digress. But we opened the show. Let's get to the show itself now. I'm wasting too much time. So yes, backstage segment we get Don Callis with the Goodbirds and Kenny Omega in their, from their pay per view from Saturday, which was this recording it's been a week now. It's been a week now. So, and I apologize for that, by the way, folks. It's to me doing these reviews late. As always. Don Callis talks to the camera about nothing everyone has ever got to see in professional wrestling. Said that Don Callis is going to hesitate and take care of business in Jacksonville, in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean Jacksonville, Florida. I meant to say, and we're since the AEW. That's what I meant to say. My fault. The Violent by Design, Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring, they go to the ring. Eric Young goes up against Rhino, who's being accompanied by Cousin Jake. Still no, he's Slater, or at this point just Heath. And for a reason, there was no Tommy Dreamer out there, based on how this match played out too. So here's what happened. Match happens. Rhino and Eric Young's doing their thing, which I thought was a decent match, or decent opener. Obviously he has some outside involvements of a little bit. In the end, it led to Eric Young getting the win on Rhino with a submission. It was basically Rhino trying to go for the gore, and then I guess his ankle was his ankle took a chair shot. I'm assuming by Joe Doring. I'm assuming that's what happened. Or Eric Young probably did, referee's back being turned or whatever. It was something to that degree where Rhino's ankle came to effect to where Eric Young did the submission onto Rhino and gets the win. After the match, Eric Young would not let go of the hold. So Brian Handler was a referee of that match. He couldn't get Eric Young off of Rhino. Cousin Jake gets hurt, gets beaten down too, but he tried to help, nothing happens. No return of Heath, and no Tommy Dreamer coming out for the help. Now I see myself, where the hell was Tommy Dreamer in all this? And why we haven't seen Heath return yet? Where's Heath been? Where is Heath? Why isn't he coming out there to help? But it was I don't know, folks. But Rhino got destroyed. And keep in mind, he's one of the clear shot, battle royale from Bound for Glory. He got the trophy to prove it too. He's got he's planning to to put that on the line, to catch that in for a tag team title shot along with his tag team partner Heath. But if he's hurt, he's out. We don't know when he's gonna come back. So now right now, Rhino kayfabe injury here, he's gonna be out too. So it's just gonna lead to Cousin Jake, facing these guys alone. Because Tommy Dreamer didn't come out there for whatever reason. Again, I don't know where Tommy Dreamer was, but for whatever reason, he didn't come out there. I mean, he had no problem helping them out before, but now all of a sudden he doesn't want to come out there to help them now. Because we got officials coming out, try to break this whole thing up with the with the violence of chaos. The violence of design is doing, and that was basically the end of it. They got the upper hand on that. Now speaking of this whole thing, at first I thought to myself, because Eric Young did not let go of the hold. Eric Young was going to lose the match because he refused to let go of the hold. So I thought Brian Henry may have reversed the decision, but there was no announcement made about that. So as it stands, Eric Young is still the winner of this match, despite him not listening to our referee's orders to let go of the hold. So we go backstage and we see what happened at Hard to Kill. At the Hard to Kill, where Rich Swann is being interviewed by Gina Miller, and then we get Moose coming in. He's gonna have his word in about what happened. All of a sudden, Moose just attacks Rich Swann and then basically tells Rich Swann that just for that one night we were partners, but moving forward we're back to being opponents. We're back to being enemies. And he did what he did to prove a point that we were tag team partners from now. We were teams from now, but now that's over. We're back to being competitors. So and he vowed to become the next Impact World Champion. And there you go. So yeah, there you go. So there's no face turn for Moose, which I was fine with. So there you go. Oh yeah. So we talked about how we're retiring Dreamer, right? Well, we're about to find out. Excuse me. We're about to find out right now. So we go backstage with Johnny Bravo and AC Romero going to Tommy Dreamer. That seems like, oh, there's Tommy Dreamer. Where we'll see when Rhino and Cousin Jake was getting their ass kicked. Some friend he turned out to be. But basically, they got evidence that Larry D has been innocent the entire time. They found a perfume in the locker room of the woman of the knockouts with the fingerprints on it. Now here's the problem with that, folks. So AC Romero, he's got the perfume in his hand, and he says, there's fingerprints on it of who was responsible of who sprayed it on Larry D. The problem is, AC Romero is not wearing gloves, so his fingerprints is on it too. So by touching the perfume itself, don't you think you got rid of that original fingerprint of the culprit itself when that happens? So yeah, they didn't think this through when they did that. And plus, in this, where it tends to this, you can never be too careful, because what if where it tends to having fingerprints on that, he could catch that virus. Just saying. I'm not trying to make a joke of it, but I'm just saying. Maybe it was a bad taste, so maybe you should just forget that. But in case people doesn't find that since people have that type of sense of humor. So, but we'll get to that later. The Good Brothers, they come to the ring, talking about how they have made history again and are the draw of the entire wrestling world. I wouldn't say that. And it's a shame, because the Good Brothers could have been the draw if WWE would have treated them right during that time. They said that they set the wrestling world on fire on January 16th with Kenny Omega. Excuse me, folks. Okay, folks. Now, as I was saying, they said they made worldwide headlines, basically, saying things that where it tends to making headlines and saying world's on fire and binge draws and all that and everything. No, it's because you're with Kenny Omega. That's why you're being talked about. It's not because of you guys. It's because of Kenny Omega. Let's just call a spade a spade. Um, Again, not their fault. The last stigma that they had was from WWE, and we know how WWE treated them, like they were afterthoughts, like they were jobbers, that they didn't mean um anything to them, which is true, and they didn't deserve that. But anyways, but I'm listening to this and I'm saying to myself, yeah, sure you guys are. And they say that they will keep the Impact World titles for a long time, you know. And then they basically two sweet each other and all that. And then Chris Sabin comes out. He says that sorry for the interruption. Says that he wasn't sure if the Good Brothers are hungover, drunk, or just plain stupid. That the Mostly Machine Guns want a rematch. And the Good Brothers basically said that, well, Sabin, you can get your rematch, but the problem is you had no partner. And then Sabin said, well, on the contrary. Now he didn't say that like that, but he said so. I've been saying he has a partner, and I knew who was coming out. As soon as he said he has a partner, I was like, I knew who was coming out. And who to guess it? It was Cowboy James Storm saying sorry about your damn luck. So he comes out, and we get the beer guns back together. Now, the whole thing where the beer guns reference came from was because James Storm is all about beer. Chris Sabin, he's one half of the Mostly Machine Guns. So basically, we're changed to James Storm being one half of Beer Money, and himself and Bobby Roode, and you got Mostly Machine Guns and one half of Chris Sabin, who's with and unfortunately the other half is Alex Shelley, who's out due to unavoidable circumstances. Hope he comes back soon. Together they are, since James Storm and Chris Sabin, together they are Beer Guns. And basically the whole thing came from is because of the event that they did. Can't remember what it was though. I don't think it was Final Resolution. It was probably some other event before Final Resolution. Either it was No Surrender or Sacrifice. I can't remember which it was. But it was one of those events, and that's where James Storm and Chris Sabin went up against Triple XL, which was Larry D and AC Romero. And that's when they did the double team move, the double suplex, which is what Beer Money does when they get to set up the whole thing of doing the whole beer money. And in that case, a while back, with James Storm and Chris Sabin, it was all about beer guns. Yeah. So there you go. But basically, James Storm came out, basically saying, Chris Sabin is one of the greatest tag teams in Impact Wrestling history and all that. And James Storm talks about, being alongside with him to go up against the Good Brothers. Said that the Good Brothers has something that they want, and says it's time for the Good Brothers to pull up or shut up. And then all of a sudden, when James Storm was going to say his tagline, all of a sudden we hear a familiar theme music started first, but it was Matt Hardy, not just Matt Hardy with Private Party. Private Party, I meant to say. I was gonna say Parvy. Parvy. Yeah, if that's a word. No, Private Party, I meant to say. But yeah, Matt Hardy and Private Party, not just Matt Hardy, by the way. Big Money Matt. And yeah, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. So basically, this is more of a debut and return, to be exact. And yeah, playing returns too. James Storm was one of them. We had another return on Impact Wrestling too, which it should be noted that one too. But we'll get that when we get to it. But yeah, Matt Hardy is there as Big Money Matt, and he got Private Party from AEW. Yeah, obviously Matt Hardy is from AEW too, but that's besides the point. But Matt Hardy says he brought Private Party to Impact Wrestling as a warm-up match for the Dynamite match, which we'll get to more of that when we get to it, when we get to that AEW review. James Storm attempted to speak to Private Party, but Hardy says, no, you don't speak to someone, you speak to me, and everything. And says that everyone should bow down to Matt Hardy because in 2016 he kept Impact from being bankrupt. But this whole broken Matt Hardy, the broken brilliance of all that, which is true. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Matt Hardy was is right about that because where was Impact Wrestling going in 2016 if it wasn't from Matt Hardy of his broken brilliance? I mean, not saying they was gonna go out of business, but just saying Matt Hardy basically helped out Impact Wrestling for stepping up a notch, you know, because of the things he did. Because it was a hot day in 2016, and then we know how that ended up in 2017, and then with WWE botching it too. Walk in. Someone needs to wake this man out of his coma for bad booking. But yeah, but they issued a challenge here. The Good Brothers, said that Private Party, if they can beat James Storm or if they could beat James Storm, Chris Sabin, beer guns, maybe they'll give them a shot at the tag titles. That's if beer guns beats Private Party. Basically, it was a number contendership match between both teams. And Matt Hardy, agreed to that, and he says, we're gonna talk to our lawyers because the truth is the truth. And that was the end of that. So, but yeah, it was good. A good segment that they did. And I can't wait to get to the main event now. But we'll get to when we get to it. We go backstage and we see Gia Miller, who interviews Matt Cardona, who is it's been official now. He is officially signed to Impact Wrestling, and basically he's been welcomed to Impact Wrestling by Gia Miller. And Matt Cardona says that he is Impact Wrestling for an opportunity, and and he's not in Impact Wrestling with a chip on his shoulder, but just to prove to the fans, to himself, right, and that's basically it. And the thing about Matt Cardona is that he's always ready. So there you go. Yeah, it was a decent promo, and it's good to see Matt Cardona. If this is what he wanted to be, great. He made his money. He saved a lot during his time in WWE, and there were chances where he did for AEW for a little bit. He can still do things for AEW as well. Because it's the whole thing of the partnerships now with Impact Wrestling and AEW working together, which I'm loving it. So yeah, that's basically it with that whole thing, and we'll hopefully see more Matt Cardona on AEW programming. But for now, his home right now is in Impact Wrestling, along with his best friend Brian Myers, which Bob we'll get to him when we get to what happened here. Which speaking of which, well, let's get to it now. We go up to a segment backstage where Caleb Fouquet with Tennille Thatcher have been interviewed or discussing something about what happened at Hard to Kill. Also, they get interrupted by the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, which I am very happy and proud of. Tasha Steelz and Kerrigan, and together they are Fire and Flavor. So they're there to talk about the Fire and Flavor Fest that's gonna have on the next edition of Impact Wrestling. Basically, it's gonna be a celebration of their championship coronation, and also basically having a party. One of those type of parties. If we know those type of parties that these ladies love to do. I'm not saying there's gonna be any sex involved. In fact, I don't know why I'll even say that. I'm not gonna they're gonna have a sex party. No, that's not gonna happen. I'll tell you one thing: it's not gonna be no sex live celebration, because no one's gonna force them to do it. Otherwise, it'll be fire. Anyways, but also in Giant Swing, which comes in out of nowhere, he has a fanny pack with him. And I'm surprised that Tasha Steelz did not recognize that he's got the fanny pack that Tasha Steelz had, representing the roll of money. And then speaking of which, Firebox comes in and says, you got the money that these girls stole from me and everything, blah blah blah. And then Chuck goes in the elevator because there's an elevator there. All of a sudden, out of the elevator Brian Myers, and as soon as I see this, I'm like, what the fuck is? Oh my god! Like this guy has a knack to be everywhere, man. You could go to a bathroom to go use a bathroom, wherever, and then all of a sudden he pops out of nowhere out the bathroom. Or when you try to go to the parking lot, to try to the parking car, whatever, and then all of a sudden he comes right in there to steal your spot. Brian Myers, right there comes out of nowhere. Or you could just be go try to get some get in the line of catering, wherever, and all of a sudden Brian Myers is immediately there. The jumping line, like he's all over the place. Like what the fuck? This guy comes out of everywhere. And it annoyed me. It really did annoy me. But he comes out of the other, followed by gets in the face of Brian Myers, because Brian Myers was basically insulting Fire and Flavor. And then I can't remember if who slapped who. Basically, this whole thing led to a match for those two later on. We'll get to that later. But and that was a segment. The segment was a hit and miss, sort of. Well, yeah, it was a hit and miss. We get to Kimberly and Susan versus Jordan Grace and Jazz. Kimberly and Susan is being accompanied by the Impact and Knockouts champion, the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. Match happens. To be honest with you folks, I wasn't really into the match that much because for many reasons. First of all, this whole thing was Susan. I know what they're doing with the Susan character now. I thought the Susan character was going to be like Deathstrike from X-Men. Pertains to X-Men 2. The movie, which great movie, by the way. Pertains to Susan being the bodyguard for Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly and all that. And she's gonna do some kung fu's and all that. With her being in a suit and everything. Because at first I thought she was good. She was just an attorney. But it comes to find out that she's when they're doing her at first and all, with her beating up on Rosemary along with Deonna Purrazzo, doing the whole distraction of Ty Valkyrie versus Kimberly match, where I thought it was going to lead to I thought that's what it was going to be, with Susan being a bodyguard, like a Deathstrike for since her being the bodyguard for for Stryker from X-Men 2. And then we get to the pay-per-view of Hard to Kill. Was it Hard to Kill? Yes, it was Hard to Kill. Whereas Susan is recording this whole thing that's going on with the whole thing, Crazy Steve, Rosemary, Kill with a K, and Kimberly, was it Kill with a K? I couldn't swear it was someone else. Now I can't remember. But the point is, I can't remember. Now I can't remember. But the point is, I'm assuming it's at the pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. Because the only thing I can recall is that when, after they were gone, the whole shenanigans that was going on, Deonna Purrazzo and Ty Valkyrie had a good match on Hard to Kill. But no, I don't think it was Kill with a K. I think it was someone else. I can't remember who it was though. Anyways, that's besides the point. The point is, Susan is recording all this, and all of a sudden the referee tells her to get out because she's gonna be banned too, and she's arguing with the referee and all that, and then leaves. Basically, and Matt Striker said on commentary, saying that she's being a Karen, and I say to myself, oh no. Now I know what they're doing with Susan. She's basically a Karen who lashes out for no reason, or for saying that to make a big fuzz about, just to make a scene. That's Susan's character now. Really, the last thing we need in pro wrestling is someone to play a character that's based on this whole thing of what's going on in the world with these women's being Karens. Are you fucking kidding me? And that's what she is now. I thought this whole Susan character was gonna be a badass and everything, but nope, nope, that's not the case at all. I hate it, and I hate this match. I really tried to to at least give the benefit of the doubt because of Kimberly, Jordan Grace, and Jazz, but this match was terrible. And Susan wins. I can't remember how she won the match. Oh yeah, the title belt was involved by Dion Perrazzo, and Jazz got hit with it, and that's how Susan won the match. I'm very disappointed at how they're booking Susan, the Susan character. Susan is Cameron. That's the character they're going with, man. Whoever came up with that there needs to be fucking fired. We go backstage. Ty Valkyrie being asked about what's next for her. Well, I know what's next for her, but let's continue on with this. So Giant Bravo comes in to interrupt the interview. In the interview, it says that it was Ty Valkyrie who did it. Pointing at her and everything. The whole thing with the gun being involved. By Larry D, who was Lawrence D. Because of the perfume thing that was from Rosemary with the whole spell. Basically, blaming on Ty Valkyrie on this, and Ty Valkyrie trying to claim that she had nothing to do with it. And then Tommy Dreamer shows up, and then AC Romero shows up. And basically, Tommy Dreamer says, there's fingerprints all over it, and your fingerprints is on it and everything. And Ty Valkyrie admits it. She did do it. She did because Johnny Bravo is useless, and that she regrets that he didn't die because she was trying to save Rosemary from Johnny Bravo, for Rosemary trying to make the biggest mistake of her life. And I remember the whole storyline that led to the whole wedding thing too. By the way, where it turns to Johnny Bravo wanted to be the man and everything. Rosemary's going listen to me because I'm the man and she's the woman and all that and the whole thing. And that's why Ty Valkyrie did what she did. Now none of us thought it was gonna be Ty Valkyrie though. We all thought it was gonna be Rosemary, but it decided to have Larry D be the one instead to be the one. But based on how this whole thing was booked, it was all set up by Ty Valkyrie, to do that to Larry D, because Larry D was who's in love with Rosemary during that time at Wrestle House. So basically, everything that they did on the story here comes together in all that for this segment itself. Does it make it any better? Fuck no. Still garbage. But this led to Tom Jordan bringing in policemen. So Ty Valkyrie gets taken away by the police, and she's raving and all that. All of a sudden, I remember asked the question. So what's happening with Ty Valkyrie? He says that she can go to the state prison in Jacksonville, or in the state prison in Nashville, or in the prison that's gonna be in Stanford, Connecticut, where she's gonna be in penitentiary for the next 2 to 3 years. And that right there telegraphed where she's going to be going. So for those who don't know, but AC Murrow says, I hope she's not in Baltimore and all that. And Tom Dreamer says, it's finally over, and then I can't remember if this happened, but Tom Dreamer kisses Giant Bravo on his head. Again, I don't remember that happened or not because I barely paid attention to it. Oh wait, sorry, I don't know if you heard that, but in case you didn't hear it, I don't know if I seen that part or not because I was not liking this. I was hating this whole thing, so I barely paid attention to it. But Ty Valkyrie is being taken away, and also Rosemary stops them and says to Ty Valkyrie, "Why would you do it?" And Ty Valkyrie says she's sorry. That she wants Rosemary as her friend, no matter what happens next. And then Ty Valkyrie was pulled by Rosemary to her and hug her, and Ty Valkyrie was taken away by the police after that. And then Christy comes in and says, well, he didn't really say much until Rosemary said, this is why we can't have friends and all that. And then Christy says, that's excitements to him. Rosemary was crying a little bit, by the way. And Ty Rucker was crying more than Rosemary because Ty Rucker is leaving. I had no idea that Ty Rucker was leaving Impact Wrestling. So basically, her last match was one of her good matches against Deonna Purrazzo. Basically, Deonna Purrazzo was put over by Ty Valkyrie because Deonna Purrazzo is one who's there for Impact Wrestling. She is the virtuosa. She is the knockouts to look at. She is the top knockouts in Impact Wrestling because she's the knockouts champion, working a singles run, and she's doing a great job with it. With her being a heel, having a couple of friends with her, friends with her, and her personality, charisma, her wrestling abilities, and all that. She's got it all. Fuck you, WWE, for fucking that shit up. You don't know what you got until you lost it, and what you lost there was Deonna Purrazzo, who could have benefit for WWE's women's wrestling. But whatever. WWE's loss is Impact Wrestling's gang. Same thing with Ty Conti. Well, since her being in AEW, because WWE didn't want to do her either. So. But yeah, Ty Parker's leaving. And basically, they're teasing that she might go to Jacksonville, which is in AEW. Teasing that she's goes somewhere else, or in Stamford, Connecticut, which is in WWE, 2 to 3 years. So right there, that tells me that she's going to the WWE. And why wouldn't she? Because her husband's there, trying to be trash. John Morrison, which by the way, and based on how he's been booked on TV right now, he's Trash Morrison, along with the Trash, which is the Miz. So they could go. Together they could do their hey ho ho, Trash and Morrison. Whatever. So there you go. That was it. Tony Schiavone, he does the AEW ads, works into Dynamite, and we had Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn also returned to Impact Wrestling here as well, and he's there with Tony Khan. Basically, the whole pay advertisement that they're doing, and so yeah, Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn, they were actually there. They were actually at the Impact Zone. Not Tony Schiavone. He was back in AEW. Pertains to the AEW studios. So yeah, there you go. Tony Khan has officially appeared on the area of Impact Wrestling, and he didn't come alone. Jerry Lynn was there too. Jerry Lynn, who's also used to be in Impact Wrestling during the days of TNA Wrestling, where he was proclaimed as the pioneer of the X division. That's when he had long hair, by the way. So yeah, and we'll get to more of that later. We'll change to Jerry Lynn and Tony Khan. We get Rich Swann, who comes out to the ring and asks for a microphone, says that he felt the pressure of being the world champion and leading Impact Wrestling to the war with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Says that he had trust issues with Moose during the match, but Rich Swann says that Moose has his attention and calls Moose out. So Moose comes out, grabs the microphone, and says that he knows Swann is angry, and says that he says that people make bad choices with when they are angry. Moose says that nothing between he and Rich Swann will be settled until he gets the Impact World title match. Rich Swann says that, well, let's do it right now. And then Moose says, no, we'll do it on my time. And Rich Swann's like, he says he is not here to talk. And then he starts scratching Moose and everything, and they start fighting, both of them. In the end, it was Rich Swann getting the better of Moose, and that was it. So yeah, let the build up of this feud, or when it's gonna happen, between Moose and Rich Swann begin, because it's gonna be for the Impact World title, and who knows what's gonna happen whenever they're gonna do that. Because if the goal they're gonna try and do, by the way, folks, between Moose and Rich Swann, with Moose being the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and with Rich Swann being the Impact World Champion, they need to unify the belts. And then once they do that, they gotta find ways to to get the name back of TNA Wrestling. Basically merged the belts to be in the TNA Impact World Championship. Oh, or better yet, if they need an identity, how the this may be a bad idea, but TNIW, you can have the four initials, call yourself Total Nonstop Impact Wrestling. I don't know, but either way, they got to resolve all this whole TNA World Belt thing that Moose got. So, but we'll see if they do. Good segment though. Good segment here. So here we get to a segment here that pisses me off. So we get Scott D'Amore and Ray Rajul. Ray Rajul was telling Scott D'Amore that he was screwed out of the X Division title. Says that Matic won the title, not TJP. Says that Matic and TJP are the same. Scott D'Amore says, of course, Matic and TJP are the same. And I said to myself, wait, what? And all of a sudden, TJP walks in with the Impact World title. I mean, with the Impact X Division. Wait, I wish, by the way. I would love to see TJP go after the Impact World title in the future. I don't know when, but eventually he needs to go after that belt because he's a great worker. But we'll see if he ends up going after the title. But maybe this year it will happen. But we'll see. But anyway, what I'm going to say, TJP comes in with the X Division title, and I'm saying, so wait a minute. Now, and before all this too, by the way, I saw a picture on Instagram on TJP's post that he's got the belt with him as TJP, not Matic, but he's in the Matic outfit and everything. And I see myself, but without the mask and without the face paint, and I see myself, what is this? What is going on here? Now we know that Matic, we know TJP is Matic, but the way they did this now is so fucking stupid. So TJP walks into the office. He's got the belt with him. The X Division belt. And Rajul was like, "Wait, TJP is the champion. What is this?" And all that. And I'm like, "Yeah, I agree with Rajul on this one. What is this? What the fuck is this bullshit? You went against your stipulation, and you want to make this more nonsense and more stupidity to make things I'm just baffled. They did this. Baffled out of my fucking mind. But basically, this led to Ray Rajul. He wants to shot at the title because he got screwed over and everything. And Scott D'Amore says, okay, you got it. He said, all you had to do was ask and everything. And basically, it's gonna be a non-title though. If we could beat TJP, then he could get a title shot later on. Again, I don't know that that's how they're gonna set up to but it's gonna be in 2 weeks' time. But basically, yeah, it's not gonna be for the title because Ray Rajul left the room. And then Scott D'Amore didn't get to finish what he's gonna say, and he said, "TJP, are you gonna tell him that it's not for the title though?" So basically, it's not gonna be for the title. So in 2 weeks' time, which at this point now it's gonna be in 1 week's time, they're gonna fight each other, but it's not gonna be for the title. Whatever. I hate this segment, by the way. Yeah, in case you didn't figure that out. We go backstage and we see Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, and Alicia Edwards. She asks if she could be invited to the party. I'm sorry. She asked if she could MC their party. Whatever that means. Alicia Edwards saying this. And also we see Brandon come in. Brandon Tolley. I'm assuming that's how he says his last name. The referee, for Impact Wrestling. He comes in and they ask, basically ask him to close his eyes and imagine their celebration party, going over silver packages, gold packages, platinum packages. Also, Nevaeh and Havoc shows up, and wanted the platinum, and the champions were like, the platinums are sold out and blah blah blah, and they start walking away, having Nevaeh stay around. and then Kyogen and Tasha Steel says something about Carper whatever Carper Carper package meant to say, and it said which is a TV set, and they they could watch at home whatever, and like okay, this was a point. This was a point of the segment. I didn't get what the point of this at all. Okay, what was next? What was next? Oh, Brian Myers defeat Falaba, and I'm gonna move on because I don't want to talk about it. Then we get to backstage segment with Ace Austin and Madman Fulton being interviewed by Gina Miller. Ace Austin says that what happened at Hard to Kill was a travesty. I mean, was a tragedy. I meant to say, excuse me, and says that he sat on the pre-show panel and that is not where he wanted to be. That's not where he wanted to make his money. He says that he went to to insert himself into the to the exhibition match and was met by Matt Cardona and said that Matt Cardona was paid not to wrestle because nobody wants to see him wrestle. Okay, and then WWE doesn't want to see him wrestle, which is why they always kept him carried in catering. Don't want to do anything with him. But Josh Alexander shows up and says that he basically tells Ace Austin to shut up and wants Ace Austin to put up or shut up. And basically, Matt Fulton gets was he walked off in a way, and then while Josh and Ace was having a word and all that, and also it came a little physical, and then Matt Fulton jumps in, and they start beating down on Josh Alexander, and then Matt Cardona comes out of nowhere, and he beats up Matt Fulton, and Matt Fulton runs away, because Ace Austin ran away too. Like, wow, you really buried Matt Fulton with that one. Like seriously, Matt Cardona. That's a reference from Brody Lee from Being the Elite. In case no one caught that reference. But I thought that was ridiculous, by the way. Matt Cardona is beating up on Madman Fulton, and Madman Fulton just accepts it and leaves. But it's going to lead to a tag team match. So we'll see how that turns out. We go backstage and we see Eddie Edwards is being checked out by the doctors backstage. All of a sudden, because of his barbed wire match that he had with Sam Callahan from Hard to Kill. Also, Brian Myers comes in and says that, hey, doctor, check my eyes. Which, by the way, I need to talk about that one. Pertains to Brian Myers versus Palaba. Reason why he hold on a second. I meant to say eye, by the way, not eyes. But during the match against Falaba was mounting a comeback, and then all of a sudden he was going to do the whole no thing, but he accidentally poked the eye of Brian Myers, and then that led to Brian Myers doing something to Falaba, then gives him the clothesline, which that's his finishing move. Which I don't understand why that's his finishing move unless he's got a milk plate in his arm, whatever. But I digress. But Brian Myers basically was asked to the doctors, check my eyes and everything, and the doctor said, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it was just a poking the eye, big deal. It always had a gruesome bruise and batter and beaten more than Brian Myers' eyes being. So Brian Myers took exception to that, and A was like, yeah, "Hey, I had enough with you, man." So now it's gonna lead to a program between these two, Brian Myers versus Eddie Edwards. And I say to myself, wow. So we're picking up where we left off here when Brian Myers made his debut in Impact Wrestling, a while back, months ago. And now they're gonna rehash this one. And I say to myself, well, just think I couldn't get invested more. I don't care because Eddie Edwards is still Eddie Edwards, with the dumbass hairdo, the beard, and his outfit. He's still that Eddie Edwards, and I don't care. Maybe that time for the no more contenderships, Impact World Tag Team Championship match. To face the Good Brothers. And you have Chris Sabin and James Storm versus Private Party with Matt Hardy or Big Money Matt. Wow. Well, it happened yet though. But once the match started, for good, I think for a good 3 minutes. Also we see Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn at ringside. By the way, they was doing the piped in crowd noise again for this one, which I'm glad they're doing that. And by the way, I think they get a little more hang of it now. How the to do it at the right time pertains to do the piped in crowd noise and all that. Pertains to do pops and all that and everything. So hopefully it'll get a little more better for the weeks to come. But yeah, Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn at ringside. Which we're tasting this whole thing. I know it's supposed to be some type of restrictive thing that that Nashville, Tennessee doesn't want any crowds to be in the buildings because we're still in the pandemic. But we had Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn out there. I'm saying myself, why not have about 100 fans to come in, 'cause I'm pretty sure they miss being there in Impact Wrestling. They could be up in the bleachers top of it. I don't care. Just bring some fans in. That way you don't have to worry about doing piped in crowd reactions. But we'll see how it goes though. I think it'll get better though. I think eventually sometime this year, we'll be getting Impact Wrestling fans back in the buildings again. Because God knows they need those fans in those buildings. But anyways, so the match kept on going. It was a good match by the way. Good match between both teams. In the end, so Big Money Matt wants prior party to win by any means necessary. Basically to cheat to win. That's basically what he's telling prior party to do. I said Cassidy and Mark Quinn doesn't want to do that though. In this match they kind of did. I won't say they were cheating that much. But basically there was they was trying to win matches by any means necessary, like taking shortcuts and everything. So those point where on the verbs where James Storm and Chris Evans was going to take it home. All of a sudden, when Mark Quinn, I believe, is in trouble on the top rope, whatever. I don't remember if he's on the top rope or on the ground. I think it's on the ground because I remember James Storm being on the turnbuckle here. On the top turnbuckle, I meant to say. And then Jerry Lynn hops the rail. I meant to say, Jerry Lynn hops the rail, holds on to the foot of James Storm, crosses the match for Private Party to the win here. Referee didn't see it, so yeah, Private Party they won. They won their first Impact Wrestling match, so that means they are the future number one contenders for the Impact World Tag Team Championships against the Good Brothers, who are in Impact Wrestling. So I was shocked when I saw that. I'm surprised that Jerry Lynn stood that low to help out AEW side. But it's no surprise because Jerry Lynn is in AEW. So, but he's not known as a wrestler though. He's an agent. I don't know if he can still go though. Jerry Lynn, but yeah, Jerry Lynn helped out Private Party for the win here, and Private Party they will accept this win here. Again, win by any means necessary. Like Big Money Matt said, win by any means necessary. And that's exactly what they did. After the match, but again, I can't remember if it was James Storm. Oh no, actually, it wasn't James Storm. It was Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin was his leg was being grabbed by Jerry Lynn. My apologies. It wasn't James Storm. Cause I remember because it started coming back to me like wasn't Chris Sabin pinned? So it was Chris Sabin. So my apologies for that. So then Good Brothers came out to confront Private Party. All of a sudden, James Storm goes right after Good Brothers. Chris Sabin jumps into the fight, and also the teams, all three teams starts fighting each other, and the show ends from there. Like wow, that was I love that sequence how they ended the show. So yeah, folks, that includes this edition of Impact Wrestling from January 19th, 2021. 4 matches were the total amount of Impact Wrestling's matches. And my overall rating for the show, I'm going to give the show a 9 out of 10. Good show. Very good show. 9 out of 10 it gets it out of me. It really was a strong show coming out of Hard to Kill. So I'll give it that one. So there you go, folks. Wrapping it said, thank you all for watching. For It's the Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. if this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly right here on YouTube, please, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more future contents right here on YouTube where it pertains to your favorites and mine, taking out the trash series. So, y'all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, wear your gloves, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. Make sure you go into that description box to check out any more information about me related to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and whichever have you is all there. So make sure you hit the like button or the dislike button to show your appreciation by choosing me. Spend your time by coming here, watching, viewing, and seeing that I can try to do the absolute best content with the orange Cassidy thumbs up that I could possibly give you. So make sure you follow that procedure. And with that being said, I am out here. Ta-ta for now. Take care.